Good afternoon. My name is Dale Rodriguez,
Hey,
and this is Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, I've got Alex, no surname.
Bowden,
Bowden? Bowden?
Bowden.
Bowden. Okay. Hey, Alex. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's been long overdue. You and I connected on LinkedIn several years ago,
Yeah.
actually, over our love of health and wellness. You take it a little bit more seriously than I do because you do it full time. And we've just been talking gym bro stuff, science, all that kind of stuff. I like the stuff that you say about health and wellness.
Mm.
I also like your backstory. So, for those who don't know you, who are you? What's the name of your business, and why do you do it?
So I'm Alex Bowden. A lot of people call me Axel because I can't type a message without some typos. The business is Phoenix Health and Fitness. That's the trading name. The company's Phoenix Health and Fitness Group Limited. The
Hmm.
story was so a long time ago, maybe 12, 13, 14 years ago, I'd I used to smoke lots of cigarettes, drink most days of the week, maybe a couple of beers after work every day, a few takeaways a week. Very typical, not ideal, super healthy lifestyle. My oldest daughter was due. My mother was pregnant, so I decided that it was time to make a change and do something a little bit healthier because you don't want to be the role model who's got the oh, gotta have a coffee in the morning to wake up and drag myself to work. Um, and you want to be around and healthy for the kids, don't you? So my decision was to quit smoking
Yeah.
cold turkey, move the booze to just occasionally on weekends, and then start running. Um,
Hmm.
and I got bitten by the bug. Really loved it, and then I ended up thinking, I know what I'll do. I'll go join the Royal Marines. So I started
As
training.
you do.
Yeah, yeah. just one day woke up and just thought, hey, fuck, I'll just join the Marines. Um, so I started training in line with what I needed to do to get fit and healthy to go through the selection process. However, along the way, I
Hmm.
managed to tear my Achilles tendon. So I ended up with a partial tear.
Ouch.
I was lucky in the sense it wasn't a full thickness tear, but that put me right back. And you're not going very far with something like that. So through physio and a bit of rehab for that, I started lifting weights instead because I wasn't able to run a cycle. Um, as I started lifting weights over time, I started seeing my physique change, and that was kind of the bit. That was the drug. That's where I got bitten by the bug, and it was like looking at my shape changing, going from being this
Hmm.
quite skinny, lean running guy to somebody who starts to lift weights. I was feeling really quite
Oh yeah,
positive.
you are swole AF.
Ah, no, just I'm a tall and broad frame, so that kind of helps, I suppose.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but I was just buzzing off the effects of the weight training and the diet and how it was making me feel. I was getting more confident, even more happier, um, some more positive body image in myself. So I was in the gym one day watching this guy across the way training this client, and then it kind of struck me that was my light bulb moment. It was like, hang on a second, that guy, he gets paid to make people feel the way that I'm feeling about myself right now. So it was a bit of a light bulb and a no brainer moment. I thought, well, I could do that. I can get paid to spend all day in a gym and help people feel awesome. So I jumped on a government funded learning scheme, and that was about 7, 8 years ago. Um,
So, going back a step, sorry to interrupt. What did you do before you had your career in health and wellness?
I'd been in sales all my life. I've just done nothing but sales really. Started out knocking on doors for Sky, um, telesales. I've sold loads of different things.
Okay, okay. So, predominantly was it predominantly door to door sales, or was it completely different things? Or
No, I did a fair bit of everything. So I started door to door, and that's where I found I was fairly successful at talking to people and getting them to buy stuff. Um, Sort of finding a need for the product and then showing them how what it benefits. Then telesales, business development.
Of all the sales roles that you had, which
Yeah.
was your favorite?
Oh, the recruitment sales role, I'm going to say, because I used to go and hang out with really cool agencies in London. Yeah, so that was quite neat. Got to go down there and meet some really cool people, and it was just
Cool.
nice to go and chill out in these pretty cool environments. Agencies are pretty cool places to be at.
Okay. So, a question that I think some viewers might want to know: a lot of people I know
Mm-hmm.
are afraid of the gym. They feel intimidated. They feel like they might be judged. What advice might you give them?
Well, everybody's afraid of the gym. Everybody's afraid of being judged in the gym at some point. I suppose the biggest piece of advice is I'd just say, well, if you're feeling that way, so is probably everybody else in the gym as well. And it's an interesting one. Sometimes if I've got clients who are nervous, I see 90% of my clients are women. They all come from a very similar sort of place in terms of they're a bit anxious, a bit nervous, inexperienced, and they worry about people looking and judging. So I go, let's go for a walk upstairs, take them into the gym, just have a little wave at a few people. Funnily enough, no one waves back. So they're clearly not paying attention. And then
Yep.
I say, look, we're in the gym. Everyone's here to do something good for themselves. If somebody's looking at you, they're either looking past you, they're looking at your exercise that you're doing, they're either impressed,
Yep.
or if you're doing something horrendously wrong, they're probably looking at it, or might be checking you out. And that happens too. So, what harm is a pair of eyeballs across the gym going to do? You just crack on with your thing and just, yeah, okay, if they're looking at my bum, they're looking at my bum. If they're looking at their mate behind me, that's fine. If the more attention and energy we give to those things, the more of the obstacle they become. So, yeah, 9 times out of 10,
Sorry,
they're
got to jump
not.
into the comments real quick. Debbie Hales is watching. Hey, Debbie. Do you know Debbie at all, or because she was on the show last month, I think, or month before last?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Okay, no worries. She runs an asbestos company. So again, showing the range of people I speak to on this show.
Nice.
Okay, what are you eating? Debbie, I am eating some mini, I don't know, meat sticks.
Like cabanas or something.
Yeah, some. I don't know what these are. They're pretty tasty.
They look good.
Yeah, sorry, I don't usually eat while I'm doing these, but I've kind of missed lunch, so I was like, you know what? While he's talking, I'm just gonna nom away. Simone Stayers. Hey, Simone.
Hi, Simone.
Sorry, Stayers Jones. Apologies. Yeah, thanks for watching, by the way. Okay. I'm trying to think of all the questions I can ask you. Oh yeah, the first one is your title. CIMPS. Is that right?
CIMSPA. The Chartered Institute in the Management of Sport and Physical Activity. This just like it's a God, I can't think of the word. It's a bit like your management for accountants and legal stuff. So if you're a member of CIMSPA, then it means that you're a part of a group of people that take their professional work seriously. To maintain a membership, you have to engage in sort of like CPD things. So you keep adding points to your portfolio to say that you're continually improving your knowledge and expertise. And I do that through things like just completed an level 3 exercise referral course, strength and conditioning level 4. Yeah. Plus, they give you cool benefits.
The reason why that interests me personally. Oh, please go on. Sorry, what cool benefits do you get?
Oh no, just they'll introduce you to things like courses, discounts, and stuff like that. So it makes increasing your knowledge and ability even better, even easier. So yeah, far away, mate.
Because as you know, I am an avid gym goer. I like lifting weights. It's my thing. I need to work on my cardio, by the way. But
don't we all?
One of the hardest things. One of the hardest things I find as a gym enthusiast or a fitness enthusiast is how sometimes the knowledge, not the base knowledge, but certain things can change based on a different research paper that comes out, in 6 months to a year. So are you suggesting that by someone with your qualifications and standing, you'll have the most up-to-date medical research on how to do certain things? And is that stuff kind of necessary?
That's a good question. So no, you'll find that a lot of trainers will follow lines of things that they're interested in. So we've got somebody here who's quite keen on rehab, biomechanics, and movement. So she'll do a lot of research and learning around those kind of elements. Whereas I'm a big fan of, I'm just a clown. I just like to make it fun. I like my clients to be smiling through their workouts. We can get from A to B without making it a horrendous chore, making it miserable. If we come out smiling and laughing, we're winning. And finding things that they like. So the question about, do you have the most up-to-date knowledge? Not always. We'll have good knowledge about what we're interested in most of the time, but it's always accessible out there. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Question for Deb. That does answer my question. So essentially, you can't expect one PT to know everything about everything, but generally speaking, when they say they specialize in strength and conditioning, rehabilitation, they'll tend to be up to date in that stuff because they like it, and that's why you go to different PTs, right?
Yeah. So I work with a very large netball team up in Wrexham in North Wales called North Dragons, and I do a lot of stuff like ankle mobility, knee strengthening, and things that will help prevent injuries for strength and conditioning side, and fitness for them. Whereas they might find that's great with me. There might be somebody else in the gym who's more rehab. They might not necessarily need that kind of service until they get injured or have like an operation.
I'm going to ask Debbie's question. Debbie Hales, what's your favorite and worst exercise? I assume that's two separate exercises. What's your favorite exercise and what's your worst exercise?
Bulgarians for both, because they're an amazing compound movement.
Wait. You have to explain for people who don't know what Bulgarians means. What's the full title of the exercise, please?
A Bulgarian split squat, or rear foot elevated split squats, where you got your back foot up on a box and your front foot forwards, and you're treating it like a single leg squat, dropping down knee almost to the floor, all the weight going through the heel. Strong compound exercise, highly challenging for balance, stability, extremely challenging because it's a unilateral exercise, so one side at a time. So it's highly challenging for balance and stability. An excellent strength builder. But so I love it. I love it.
It was like, what?
I love it for the amount of benefits it can bring, and I hate it because once you start loading them with weight, they really suck. They hurt. They're hard. They take a lot of coordination. So they're the best of both worlds.
Okay, fair enough. And Debbie, if you're asking me, I love the hex bar deadlift. It's one of my favorites. It's one I'm strongest in. I know for most people it's not a real deadlift. I don't care. So there we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to ask a childish question. Have you ever vomited from working out?
Yeah, loads of times.
Have you ever crapped yourself from working out?
No, I've farted a few times. Never.
Yeah. Oh,
never.
We've all done that. We've all gone low on the squat. We weren't ready, and you push to get up. You're like, I get it.
Years ago, I got a really good piece of advice from a guy who says, whenever you're going to do squats, deadlifts, or big lifts, make sure you have a poo first.
Yeah.
And always fart. Always fart before you lift.
Yep. Sorry, Debbie is asking what and also what. Please, Debbie, if we've not explained anything, please ask the question again. Thank you for watching, but honestly, let's explain, let's break it down. So if I said something that you don't know what it is, or Alex has, then let's do that. So please, Debbie, if you've got time, ask us again. What do you not understand? What's the what about? Because yeah, he's here to answer questions. You didn't realize it, did you? You didn't realize that's what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. Can I ask you a proper gym bro question?
Yeah, go for it.
Of the 5 main compound lists, what are you lifting at the moment?
Good question. So I haven't retested my bench for a while, but I push 120 for a conventional bench, which is all right.
Nice.
I've got some shoulder issues which I'm trying to work on. My squat is 180. My deadlift is 220. Bench, squat, deadlift. My row is about 100. Haven't retested my row for a while. Military press, I can get 85.
Nice. That's solid. For American people watching, this is in kilograms, not in pounds, by the way, because I'm massive. And to answer Debbie's question, she asked me what my favorite movement is. So, Debbie, I said a hex bar deadlift. So the bar that I use is hexagonal in shape, and the handles are on the side. So when people do a deadlift normally, they use an Olympic bar, which is a straight bar, and they'll grab with an overhand grip. With a hex bar, the arms are down by the side, and you're standing in the middle of the bar. And it is a slightly easier movement because one, the handles are a little bit higher, and two, your center of gravity, like where the weights are dispersed more evenly over your body. But it's also a safer lift as well. Like a lot of people will hurt themselves doing a regular conventional or Romanian conventional deadlift because they bend at the wrong point in their back or the waist. Alex, have I got that right? I just want to make sure I'm not explaining that badly.
Yeah, it's a lot of issues in deadlifts tends to come from the setup first. So you have people that are too far forwards over the bar, too far back, bumps too high, bumps too low. It's an art form in itself, I think.
Debbie, if you want to see an impressive deadlift, search Eddie Hall deadlift. He set the world record a little while back. It may have been broken, but he deadlifted 500 kilos. And to put that into context, an original Mini Cooper weighed 600 kilos. Right, the guy pretty much lifted a car off the ground. And then, Debbie, you know what? Not in a weird way. I'll send you a video of me doing a hex bar deadlift so you can see the difference. There you go.
We could fill the comment section up with deadlift videos, couldn't we?
I mean, I like Debbie's response. Easier sounds good. I mean, now we could talk about progressive overload, Alex. What is progressive overload?
Increasing the amount of weight and stress you put on your body over time. So, for example, if you're going to start with your bench press at 40 kilos, if you stick at 40 kilos every single week, you're not going to make any progress. If you put an extra 5-10% on every week, another 4 kilos, make it 44, 45, 50, your body's forced to adapt. And the stimulus is the weight. So you come in the gym, you do your weights, you lift in, you increase the weights week after week because your body's going to adapt after each stimulus. And that's how you get stronger, bigger, leaner, and more powerful.
Fantastic. Next question. Two questions in one. What is bro science, and what is the best bro science thing you've heard of in your career?
Oh, God. It's been 7 years of it, so I've had a lot. Bro science is basically your sort of less educated or non-professional people giving you advice and information around certain supplements, training styles, dieting methods, and so on. What's the best bro science I've ever heard? Not sure, but one
that you've heard one that you've heard that's been like, that is so technically incorrect. I can't believe you're saying it.
So actually, the best thing I could give you right now is something I saw on TikTok. There's a guy called Ben Carpenter. He's a PT. He's extremely good. I love his content. So if you have a look for Ben Carpenter on TikTok, he's brilliant. But he was responding to a video by a lady who has suggested that a man's testosterone level can increase by 1,300% if fasting. if fasting for between 13 to 15 hours a day, which is complete bullshit, because they did a study on blokes who were using actual exogenous testosterone, so injecting testosterone into their bodies, and their testosterone levels were up by 450 odd %. So for someone to say that fasting for 13 hours a day is going to increase your
can get you more juiced than someone on juice. Yeah,
than someone
pretty dumb.
actually taking actual extra testosterone, which is taking them to super physiological levels, way above natural.
Yeah, like Ronnie Coleman-esque kind of Jay Cutler size.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I love seeing that kind of stuff, but I hate it at the same time because it pollutes people's minds with the wrong information. And just think, how have you got that? Where's the study?
One of the guys I like, his name is James Laker. He's on YouTube. His channel's called Shredded Sports Science, and he is the driest mofo on the planet. He usually does 8-minute clips, not super long, but he's actually a sports scientist and a PT. So when he hears claims about testosterone and all that kind of filth that people are pushing, the way he delivers it and how, honestly, I recommend him. If, again, anyone is interested in health fitness, he's one of the good ones. He generally just goes, this is nonsense, this is nonsense. Simone has actually got a question, and it's a good one because there's a lot of depth to it. Okay, Simone Stayers-Jones, what is the best all-round exercise to lose weight and strengthen at the same time? Can I guess before you answer?
Go for it, mate.
If I had to guess, and this is me, Dale, the layman who enjoys weightlifting and such, not an expert like you, Alex, I would say a squat. If you're going to do any movement, my guess would be a squat.
It's a very good answer. Yeah, absolutely. It's a tricky one to go into because are we talking cardiovascular exercise, resistance exercise, or ultimately the best exercise in the world, the best exercise in the world, is the one you enjoy. So, with that said, if that's playing bowls or running or CrossFit or training for a high rocks or lifting heavy or lifting for endurance strength. So yeah, well, literally, and any of these things are a form of exercise. The thing that people enjoy is going to be the best thing because the exercise you like is be the one you stick to, right? Overall, my favorite types of exercise for weight loss and strength, though, is going to be strength training. So high weight to lower reps combined with a high protein diet and a calorie deficit. If you want to lose weight is referencing fat loss as opposed to just weight, then calorie deficit, strength training, literally you can't go wrong.
That's a really important thing you said there. I want to jump on that. You said if you want to lose weight but fat loss, could you just explain that in more detail? I think I know what you mean, but just could you drill into that a little bit more, please?
So when you weigh yourself, you're getting a number on a scale, and that number is your body versus gravity. And one of the biggest issues that we find in the fitness industry when people talk about fat loss and weight loss and so on is they get on the scale and they think, oh, I haven't lost any weight, so that's rubbish. But your body composition, what you're actually made up of, can tell a completely different story. So I'll always have clients taking pictures and weighing themselves because the weight is just a data point. So you could not lose any weight for 3-4 weeks, but you could have a reduction in body fat, but be more hydrated and store carbohydrates in your muscles. So it's weight is one thing. Weight is you versus gravity. It's not what's going on inside your body and what you're made of.
Thank you for answering that. Because again, it's one of those kind of common myths. You're right. People will go to the gym for the first couple of weeks / months, realize the scale hasn't changed because they started weightlifting. And what's actually happened is they've put on some muscle mass. Yeah. And they're actually burning a few more fat calories, but they think it isn't working. But actually, in fact, they look better in the mirror. For Debbie, dancing is her exercise. Debbie, what kind of dancing? Salsa, merengue, pole. Jokes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say stuff like that.
No, pole is a really solid one. Years ago, and I worked at an Anytime Fitness down in Reading. The pole teacher kept saying, "I should come and have a go."
You went to a special club and saw lots of athleticism. I'm sure you did.
No, I went. The instructor was like, "Oh, you have to give it a go. You have to give it a go." And I'm like, "Nah." look at me, I'm a big guy. I lift weights. I'm, the typical gym guy. But one day I gave in. I was like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll come and have a go. The amount of strength these women possess in their core and ability is phenomenal. Like, a lot of people just don't realize how much internal core strength you need to be able to hold yourself up on a pole. There's women in there, because that particular class was all women, and you could even be forgiven for sort of like the whole sort of visual aspect. Oh, they don't look like they're going to be able to turn themselves upside down and hold themselves out to the side at 90 degrees kind of thing. Because we look at people and we make these assumptions, don't we? And I kind of went in there with a bit of an open mind.
I like how political you were with that. That was so good. You were like, you weren't going to say because they look old or because they look weak or frail. You were like very, very precise. Very good. I know what you meant. You didn't say it. I would say. You thought some of these ladies were old and frail and couldn't hold themselves up, but they smashed your perceptions.
And they held themselves up better than I did.
Going back to Debbie in the comments. So she likes dancing. She says anything. She also said Ciroc and smooth drive. Is it Ciroc or Kroc? I know nothing about dancing. Sorry. You.
I'm not sure. Is it Ciroc or?
Okay. I'm sure she'll type the pronunciation later. Okay. Sorry. So again, pole fitness actually harder than it looks.
Oh yeah. And they get loads of bruises, man. They get beat up in those classes too. Wrapping legs around pole. Yeah, because there's friction on the skin and the pole, and they have to hold themselves up by like wrapping their leg around this pole, and you think, bloody hell, fair play. That's going to take some doing.
Okay. Changing gear. Why did you call your company Phoenix?
So that's a good question. So Phoenix, I like the mythological bird. The meanings behind it. It represents new beginnings, rebirth, new starts, rising from lows, and it's applicable for me to my business. And people come into fitness from all sorts of different places. Mine was, I came in from being just generally fairly unhealthy and a bit lazy. So I had a new start, fresh start. Somebody could come in who is battling some kind of demons, whether that be relationships, substance, or all those kind of things. So they can have a fresh start. Could be somebody who's been training for a while, who just wants a bit of a refresh. So it's all about like coming up from something or somewhere and just going up from there, if you like.
Okay. No, I like that. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Debbie Hales, my daughter loves pole dancing. Nice. I know. I'm sorry. It's not. I know it's not a promiscuous thing. It's actually a fitness thing. But I read it that way. When you're in the gym, Alex, is there a particular artist, genre, or style of music that you listen to that gets you pumped? What's in the workout mix?
What's in the workout mix in a minute? I could tell you what's on the top of my liked songs if you like.
Oh, please do. Please share with the class.
Let's have a look. So I have got Shame by El King at the top of my list.
Okay. Right.
Phoenix Down by The Unguided. A sped up version of I'm Good,
Phoenix.
Blue. Yeah. Got 50 Cent and Eminem, Cashish and Lloyd Banks.
Did you just skip one?
No.
Oh, you keep acting like you don't know. It's a banging song.
Yeah.
It's a great one. It's a good gym track. The beat's heavy, consistent.
Yeah. I've got Kasabian in there. I've got some random drum and bass and techno, a bit of REM, some motivational podcasty things. I don't discriminate music. Yeah, it's all. Okay. If it's
I was going to say, what is your pet peeve?
Pet peeve. Oh my God. Do I have to pick one?
Top three. Top three.
Okay. Top three are going to be people slamming weights, ego lifting.
Ooh, controversial.
Yeah. Slamming weights, ego lifting, and not putting your weights away. They're my top
Ding,
three.
ding. It's one of my least favorite ones. I get so I don't get angry, but it's just rude. It's rude. Put your weights back.
Yeah, I mean it's not hard, is it? And put them back in the right place. 20s, 15s, 10s, and 5s. It ain't rocket science.
The one I hate the most. The one I hate the most, and it's not always the bigger dudes, but it's when bigger dudes do it. They'll load up the leg press, usually the leg press.
They'll leave it loaded,
and then they'll just leave it, and then I'll see someone who's maybe not as strong or as large as them have to unload the motherfucker just to get their workout.
Yeah,
like, mate, come on, you weren't strong. You weren't always that strong. Remember what it was like for you to put all them weights on? Like, take them off. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not hard. Necessary.
Oh, got one more.
Snap. One house is in the house. One more. Go for it, man.
Right, the biggest one for me in terms of from a professional point of view is when I see other PTs in the gym and they've got their client and they're on their fucking mobile. Like, there is nothing that winds me up more because of, so I've got quite a big thing for integrity. If someone's paying you, we're not cheap. Someone's paying you good money that they've worked hard to earn, and they've decided that you're an investment that they want to put into to help them improve their health and fitness and so on. And you see someone sat there on their phone, texting, scrolling Instagram. I just, that worries me. I can't put words on how bad that makes me. Like, you've got somebody there, they've given you a vote of confidence in your knowledge ability, and they're paying you good money, and you're sat there texting your boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, scrolling Instagram. It's like, I see it all the time. You see somebody going through their exercise, doing their reps, and their PT is just sort of just stood here, sat here, like not even looking. Their client's over there and they're here, and they'll get to the end and their client's finished, and then they'll go, how's that? All right, yeah, okay, do the other side. Back on the phone. I'm like, it takes a little bit.
I personally wouldn't stand for that. Like, so when I've trained with PTs, I'm genuinely asking for someone to obviously give me tips and advice on my technique. Sometimes I'm lifting heavy. You need to spot me. That's the reason why you're there. One of the reasons why you're there.
Yeah. I mean, you want to watch the movement the whole time, because if suddenly, let's say somebody's squatted and he starts to see their knees coming in and he valgus, you need to be able to point that out and go, look, knees out to sides, drive through the heel. Otherwise, that person's going to end up injured under your care. And what are you going to do? What are you going to say to them when they go, look, I don't want to work with you anymore. I hurt my knee because you weren't looking at me, because you were too busy, like, checking out videos on Instagram. That'll wind me up. If I was paying money for something, like I have mentors, I use services and stuff. If I'm paying somebody, pay my sports masseuse to dig into my back, and she suddenly stops and goes away for 20 minutes to text her friends and organize a night out on Saturday, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Come back and start smashing me again, because that's what you're paying for.
I sense I've touched a nerve, because that was intense. Okay, so basically, one of the things that really bugs you is when you see other people in your industry not taking it as seriously or as professionally as you.
Like, I'm not even the most serious person in the world. I tell clients are very well prepared for what they get with me. Like, I love to have a laugh. I think it's easier if you smile. It's such a cheesy catch line, but I use it all the time. I like them to have a bit of banter, some fun all the way through from beginning to end. If they end up knackered and sweaty and a bit gassed out, that's great, but it doesn't need to be super serious. I mean, this is a place where, like you say, a lot of people are intimidated, nervous, worried, anxious. I've worked with people that walking in the door is a massive thing. Let's call this person Jane or Becca. she comes in, I can tell from the way she's walked in if we're going to work out downstairs in the corner or upstairs in the gym. It's just yeah, just.
Debbie Hale's giving you props. Debbie Hale's passionate about his craft. Good to hear. No, actually, respect to you, man. You're right, because there are some PTs out there who take liberties, absolute liberties. Do you think it'd be fun training with me?
Oh yeah, like if you can get down to Wrexham, man, let's do it.
Yeah. Wrexham's pretty far. It's literally the other side of the country for me, but sure, why not?
There's helicopters, man. We could get one of them.
Helicopters? How much are you charging per hour?
No, I'm thinking like we give Grenade and Alan Barrett a bit of a shout out on here, and he can lend us his chopper for a day, bring you down and eat some bars and lift some weights.
I can guarantee, if I get sponsored by Grenade, that would be awesome. I highly doubt it, because they sponsor other people who are like legit full-time fitness influencers. But yeah, why not?
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. You know how many influencers are out there that don't have a clue? Like
too many.
Yeah. I'm going to take loads of steroids and fat burners. I'm going to pour this baby oil on me and say, listen, guys, if you do this exercise, you can get these abs. It don't work like that.
It's trash, isn't it?
Yeah.
It needs to be more regulated. It really does need to be more regulated.
I would love for our industry to be properly regulated. You can't call yourself a dietitian until you've gone through at least so many years working under direction in the NHS, for example. You can't become a doctor until you're regulated. You can't do so many different professions. And at the end of the day, we've got people's life in our hands. We're not necessarily the same kind of level or gravity as a surgeon, right? But if you fuck up someone on their bench press and they hurt themselves, then they're in a world of hurt, you're in a world of pain, and there's no regulation. So you see people charging 15 quid an hour for PT. They don't have a qualification. They don't have any understanding of the mechanics of the body, how the muscles work, what a decent movement looks like. Two ladies who've just joined me this week, two sisters, smiling the whole way through their sessions. Both of them had PTs in the past. Neither one of them was given a functional movement screen. And I was like, so what squats did they give you? Oh, they just give me squats with the bar. And I'm like, right, okay. Let's have a look at your squat then. Neither one of them could achieve full depth. Both of them had issues in their knees. There were some heel issues like heel raises, so the calves are tight. There was glute medial weakness. So like all these things, like, so a PT, a qualified fitness professional was giving you a squat under a bar with load on it, and you can't even manage to get the depth. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue at them. You know, it's not a dig at them. It's just that they haven't been shown and taught and coached the right way to move. And then they're paying somebody, and I said to the ladies, like, even just something as simple as putting a Swiss ball against the wall, leaning into it, and just saying, like, try and push through your heel, not the front of your feet. And then, like, instantly it was, I can feel that even more. And the depth that they achieved in their squat was parallel or lower, whereas before they were kind of 45 degrees in the thigh. And it's frightening, the amount, like, you know, I'm probably not the best PT in the world by a long way, for sure. But there are so many out there that you look at and you just think, have you even assessed that person's ability to move that way? What's their mobility like?
Sorry to interrupt. Debbie's asked a very good question that's somewhat personal, and hopefully you can help her. Debbie Hales, how do I find a good PT in Medway? So Medway being North Kent.
Good question. Move to Wrexham.
She has an established business of over 20 years in Kent. She's probably not going to move to Wrexham just for you, buddy. Nice try.
The best thing to do is just ask around, talk to people word of mouth, and open a conversation with a few different PTs. The best people are the ones who will get on with you on a personal level, because if you enjoy your time together, you're always going to get more out of it. Everybody who's got a personal training company should have at least their minimum level 3. And just ask them what.
Level 3 in what? Sorry, like health and wellness, or like what? Or a level 3 in some kind of qualification in PT.
Level 3 personal training. Yeah, it's the minimum requirement to actually get insured as well. But I mean, if you're looking for a PT, reach out to a few different places, ask around, and then have a few conversations with those PTs. Same way you would do for any service. Speak to a few, see which one you get on with best, and then ask them what they're going to do. In my personal opinion, they should look at the way you move. You should have a proper consultation where they go into your lifestyle, habits, sleep, talk about your diet, nutrition, what your experiences in the past. They should definitely ask you if you're on any medication or suffer any kind of diseases or injuries.
Illness.
Yeah. And then if anybody does run into any of those, they need to be suitably qualified to manage those issues as well. But I would say,
I'm a new fan, by the way. Debbie Hales, you need a new branch in Medway, Alex.
I wish.
Right. No, you give us some good advice there. And again, Debbie, my joints are screwed. I changed that one. And your stability comments made a lot of sense. There we go.
Range of movement is a big one for a lot of stuff. Like a lot of it just comes down to, like, as we get older, once we get into our older ages, the elasticity in the muscle starts to reduce. A lot of people neglect flexibility and mobility training in favor of lifting really heavy stuff. Yeah, myself included, but it's the big things: the hips, the knees, the ankles, the shoulders. They're all connected. You'll find that somebody's got pain in their knees, probably down to something that's happening in their hip, not their knee. So I would make sure that they're going to do a full functional movement assessment on you. So they assess your squat, your hinge, your lunge, your bench, your push and pull, vertical and horizontal, and some kind of brace like a farmer's carry, something that assesses your core strength and ability and mobility in your back too.
Cool. We're going to round this off very shortly, but before we do that, do you have any questions for me?
Me? What's your top 5?
What on the big 5 lifts? So overhead press, not push press, 60 kilos, bench 100, normal deadlift 200, hex bar 250, row 80. What have I missed? And squat 180.
Nice, that's some good numbers, man.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right. What do you weigh?
6'4", so
6'3".
I am currently 100 kilos.
Wow, that's decent.
So pretty decent to my body weight.
Yeah, 100%. That's some stuff to be proud of.
I'm quite happy with it. In saying that, though, I haven't done the strength training for the last month. I've been switching to bodybuilding, so I'm probably weak as fuck right now. But oh well, it is what it is.
This soon comes back though as well, doesn't it? The hypertrophy specific training is only sort of 75% of your 1 rep max. So yeah,
cool. Okay, before we head off again, do you have any advice, pearls of wisdom for people watching this right now who either aren't into fitness or looking for a PT? Anything you just want to kind of go, this is my mantra, this is what you should look for?
It's easier if you smile. So find somebody, if you're going to work with a trainer, someone who actually you get on with. I will pick my clients as much as they pick me. I think, could I go bowling or could I go for coffee with this person and enjoy it, not feel awkward? If the answer is yes, I'll take them on. If it's not, I won't. Pick someone with the same kind of morals and values as you. My biggest things are integrity, communication, and honesty. So I like to talk. I need to know what's going on. And find things that you like. For me, it's all about establish what you want to achieve. Know what you want to get out of it. Find somebody who can take you down that path and educate you along the way. That's big thing is about teaching. I want to teach everybody everything that I do with them, the reasons why it's going to benefit them in the future, and so they can replicate and do it again. Not everyone's going to stay with you for 6 years. Some clients might be with you for 6 weeks. Some might be for 6 months to a year. I just want to make sure that I'm giving as much information and advice and support to them and value as I can throughout the time we're together. So yeah, that's probably
awesome.
about it. Don't drop your weights, put your weights away, and smile at everybody.
We're going to leave it at that.